Do you have a drunk Bailey's from a shoe?
All right, welcome to a special edition of the Views from C-Deck where it's time to air some grievances about this Michigan cheating scandal. We haven't talked about it yet really in depth because I've been kind of waiting for this week, and a whole lot more just came out Friday where these sanctimonious sons of bitches basically admitted to doing everything, every little thing, because they also admitted that somebody was trying to cover it up and fired their linebacker coach, Chris Partridge, who was only there as a coach in the first place. Well, this is actually his second hire because he was the high school coach of like Rashawn Gary and Jabril Peppers, and they just hired him to bring him on because that's what they do. These guys that are like above board and super moral. So the Haas, the Direwolf, I got to ask you what you've been thinking since Friday's revelations, but as the entire saga has unfolded, how have you felt about what these cheaters up north have done? We broke them. We broke them, and now they figured out a way to get us back and try to even out the talent advantage, I guess, that we held, and coaching advantage, and school advantage, and every other advantage there is because they're pieces of shit. Direwolf, we'll start with you.
Oh, I feel like you might be slightly more pissed because you know more about it than me, because you've gotten on Reddit and all that stuff. But I'm right there. It drives me nuts. Ever since it came out, I've started looking back like, well, that's starting to make a lot of sense. Like, and then you start looking back at quotes and Harbaugh. There's a quote where Harbaugh said, I think it must have been this week in 21. He said, "We're going to win that game or die trying." And what did he mean by that? Well, now we know they had to stoop really low just to beat us and then go into this elaborate scheme. And then I love it. I don't know if I sent you guys that video of all the Michigan podcasters and talking heads before Thursday, I think is when they said they were accepting punishment. They're like, "We're going to war." They got a lot of hands, and then they realized, oh, we're screwed. So never mind. And I think part of it was Harbaugh didn't want to be under oath lying. That's part of it. But I just can't wait for Saturday because I think I sent you guys a stat too, where if you look at the first 8 games in the second half, I know the significantly lower compared to what they played these last 3, but they gave up 7 total points in the second half in the first 8 games before cheating, while they were cheating. After said cheating, and they can't cheat anymore, they've given up 27 points in 3 games in the second half. So I know it's better competition, but I think that is a very telling stat right there.
I like the word cheat getting used so much because they are cheating McCheaters who cheated so damn much. Jason, what have you thought as we think about, like, it pisses me off a lot too. They ducked us in 2020. They used COVID as an excuse. We already know their hockey coach got caught using it as an excuse to avoid games. We know they'll do that at this school within that athletic department. He got busted and got in trouble with the NCAA over it. They ducked us because they were awful that year, and Harbaugh is clearly a sore loser. And then they go out and, what basically happened is Connor Stallions came to them with this plan, this super fan nut job, who, I guess we all have those. And shit, I might be talking to 2 of them here. I might be one of them, somebody to do that kind of thing if I had a little more time on my hands. But, he clearly brings this to somebody on that coaching staff, most likely Chris Partridge or Jay Harbaugh, from the Instagram posts that he has made declaring his friendship and love and dick suckiness of those 2. Does that just infuriate you? It's great that we broke them to that point, though, isn't it?
I just want to beat them. I'm like writhing in my chair because it's not like a super outlandish cheating thing. Like, at the end of the day, all coaches said, yeah, so some programs might be doing it, but it's the stupidness coming from their university now, Michigan versus everybody. What are you? It's Ohio against the world. You're just copying us. And free Harbaugh after you guys accepted the suspension. You
gave him the suspension.
You guys are the warden then of Harbaugh. Go to the warden. Go to your university president and be like, why did you accept it? I thought we were innocent. No. How are you innocent if you're accepting the freaking suspension? It is mind-blowing. I am just pissed off. This is what I'm more pissed off about is them playing stupid. They're just trying to deflect all the blame, and now the fire is inching closely. At first, it was a grad assistant Stallions. Now it's a linebackers coach. Now you have another coach being investigated by the FBI. It's getting closer to Harbaugh, and we had to fire Jim Tressel. We had to get rid of Urban Meyer because of these like little slap on the wrist scandals that we just said get rid of them. We had a higher moral, code than they do clearly. And now they're just, oh man, Harbaugh beat him. What if we get rid of Harbaugh? Wouldn't it be nothing ever again? So they're trying to just save their savior. And I just want to crush them on Saturday and then just watch them flee by his side and then throw him into the grave. And then I just want to see him sink into Lake Erie. I'm just fed up, man.
Oh, I'm fed up. I mean, there's a lot of reasons I'm pissed off. One of them has been he played today, didn't have his best game, but he threw for 300 yards again. C.J. Stroud should be going down as maybe the greatest quarterback in the history of the program. He should have won 2 Heismans. I'm not sure that the 2021 game was totally a loss based just solely on this. We got actually physically dominated in portions of that game. But the 2022 game, we did not. And the struggles of the offense in the second half, he wins either one of those games. If we win, he wins the Heisman both those years. That was either one of them.
A game at halftime, I was like, we should be winning this game at halftime. I was like, how are we not up by 2 scores? I felt like we were like dominant in that game. And then those 2 big runs in the second half basically just blew the doors open. And I'm just like, that was like, even like James Franklin and Shiano after their games were always like, something was off here. Something was off. We don't know what. We know what, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at the plays they made in the first half, especially in that game. The big plays were on passes that we blitzed everybody. Seems like they may have known that we were going to be blitzing everybody. And like before you pieces of shit try to get out of here and say, oh, it's not that everybody does it. It's not that big a deal. Oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Instead of like everybody else studying for the SAT, you take the SAT home and find out all the questions first. That's like what's been happening here. Or you're going, oh, they were speeding. Yeah, they're going 56 in a 55. You're going 90 in a 55, and you think it's the same thing? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that doesn't give you some sort of advantage? Get out of here. That's just nonsense. Like if anybody's played any sport ever or any competition ever, if you've screen watched playing Call of Duty, or you've played tennis and somebody's tipping off their forehand or something like that, or baseball and they're tipping off the pitches and like the Astros just did, or any sport, if you know what's coming, you are at a massive advantage. And if you are able to figure out how to know what's coming in a way that is clearly made illegal, and we haven't even got to the best part, but go like Direwolf, like what are you thinking when you hear them say that kind of crap?
Oh, when they say everybody does it, that pisses me off because it's like a lazy excuse. I know they're just trying to say that that's part of the game, right? Like that's like a defensive coordinator's one of his biggest jobs is to read what the offense is doing, and he's basically putting in his best guess on what to play based off of who's on the field and the formation they're in. But if you literally know when they do these signals and they're going to throw a post or it's a screen or whatever, it's like guaranteed unless you suck to be a tackle for a loss or a sack or an interception. And you said it best in maybe it was off the not on one of these podcasts, but Barry Bonds, fantastic baseball player, one very, very good. Put him on steroids, and he's like best baseball player we've ever seen in the history of the sport. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Michigan's really good. They're a really good football team, but if they know what's coming, I don't want to say they're unbeatable, but look what happens when they play TCU when they don't scout them.
Well, look what they did earlier this year. I mean, I think it was 6 games in. Nobody had first and goal against them this year at all, period. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But now the best part is this booster stuff that came out Friday. So this is also getting financed by a booster. And also, for those of you who think it's not a big deal, then why did Carson Stallings have a job? Where did he get the job for? Why does he have a job there? Getting $55 a year. I mean, it's not that much, but still, $55 a year for For what if it's not a big deal? Why would you pay somebody if it's not a big deal? It makes no sense to me. So this booster though is involved. Uncle T, man, this is a pro wrestling storyline. Uncle T is financing it. Uncle T turns out to be Tim Smith, who is a big booster on the board of one of their collectives, the Champions Circle, because that's what they are, is a bunch of fucking champions, right? That cheat all the time. He's also a shit poster on a message board, just like me. I don't know about you two, that you see. And the stuff he was saying, where I don't want to get political here, but if you've ever wondered how people feel about Donald Trump that don't like him, just think about how you think about this situation. And the things that they say and how the things that Trump says, that's what it looks like is right there. Like he's like basically totally, anonymously giving like he's acknowledging that he knows stallions though, and that he's just a good young man and just good at like a solid Marine veteran who just deserves respect and can't believe he's getting drugged through the mud when you've been financing this motherfucker. Are you kidding me?
Two things. Them trying to deflect it with us, the Rutgers and Purdue, like coordinating. How is that? Coaches shared film on each other all the time. It was in We Are Marshall.
Not illegal. It's just not
Marshall
illegal.
and West Virginia gave Marshall film in the movie saying, "Hey, study the triple option. Like here you go." It's not illegal. It's in like people do that. Secondly, the head coach is like you said. The laws state the head coach is responsible for the program. Anything that happens, he's supposed to know. How would he not know that they were using these signs to their advantage? He has the headset on. He knows every defensive call and every offensive call at all times. He knows what's going on in the field at all times. When they are using those signs on the field, Harbaugh knows. He would know that they're using the signs that Connor Stalions assumed. So he obviously knew of the whole thing. There's no way you can convince me he didn't know of it. Now, if there's probably no proof that he knows, like he's not going to write on paper, "Oh man, I know Stalions stole some stuff." But
Dear diary.
Yeah. He had to have known. Every coach on that sideline knew it. And the fact that if you're a fan of Michigan saying Harbaugh didn't know, you're just oblivious to the obvious. And I feel sorry for you.
I mean, I just always go back to the whole Tressel thing. Like back then we thought, like, I was pissed. I'm like, how are we going to fire the guy for this? Well, technically it was a freaking rule. Whether you agree with it or not, it's a goddamn rule, and he technically broke it. If you look at the freaking rule book, they blatantly broke this rule. So I don't understand. And Desmond, oh my God, don't get me started on Desmond.
Casey, you're allowed to wish death on him here, and you won't get fired.
Oh my God. I'm loving seeing people. Have you seen people tweet his old quotes about Tressel? About, hey, yeah, on game day when Tressel got fired, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's basically like, hey, if you break the rules, you should be out of the game. That's how I think. That's how everybody should think. And now all of a sudden, his coach that he loves is breaking the rules, and he's completely defending him.
And that's why this game on Saturday is of the utmost freaking importance, because once we beat them and we hack them back down to where they belong in the mud and all these 20 years of misery, because like that's why they're clinging to this hope, like, oh my God, we're finally good. We can't see this go, and we can beat them and shove them back down. Then this will all collapse and it'll fold like a house of cards, I think. That's why this game matters. I'm just so freaking pumped for it. But yeah, it does make me go to hell.
It's collapsing regardless. It's collapsing regardless of Saturday. But go ahead.
It is. I was going to say that's got me a little bit nervous about it, though, because how much pressure Day is going to be feeling. Because holy hell, if he wins this game, his entire everything goes out the window. Anything anybody has said naysaying him whatsoever, they can fucking go to hell. Because the only game he's lost, cheat. Except that's pretty damn good.
I've always been against Dave for being too soft. And like at the end of the day, it's the players on the field that go out there and they have to buy into this rivalry. They have to want to go out there and beat scum to hell. And this year, seeing Marvin's quote, I only have two goals this year. beat the team up north, and win the Big Ten championship. I think you see Travion, you see McCord, you see Stover, you see these captains and Eichenberg. They've been zoned in on this game, and I think it's put a sour taste in their mouth. To if they lose this game, all of them will basically be winless against them in their career. So I think this is on the players more than Day for their legacy, and if they beat them, this will go down as one of the best classes of all time.
Well, for Day, I mean, this is 3 wins in 1. You can wipe out. I mean, even though, like I said, I think 2021, that's not why we lost, most likely. I think it is why we lost last year. Like, I think it played a huge role in why we lost last year. You can win, but it doesn't matter. Perception is everything. You can wipe those games away. And, like, people are saying, oh, they played the games. I'm like, this isn't like playing with an ineligible player where, like, he shouldn't have played on a technicality of something that happened off the field. They won the games directly because of a competitive advantage they engaged in that was illegal. This is like doing steroids. Like, oh, well, they played the game. No, he didn't. Like you had 12 guys on the field the entire game. And, oh, well, they played the game. You can't undo it. I'm like, well, yes, you can, actually. And these games will be undone, all of them. Every single game that they have any proof that Connor Stallions scouted in person, not at the game, they will get vacated. They may get turned into forfeits, which we can only hope. Have fun winning that 1,000th game a second time, sometime down the road there, scum. But if you can actually field a team to do it, pieces of shit. Look, the pressure, though, you're right. It is on big time. And, you talk about the players and how much this is also what I despise about their cult-like mentality, but it is true. And like we're talking, I may have Owen on later this week. And, he played for Ohio State. And we talked about like playing team sports and like you're in a cult mindset. And they clearly are in a cult mindset because they have bought into this us against everyone type thing, even though it makes no goddamn sense on any level. You cheated and got caught. This is you are not the victims. You are not the victims. You just aren't.
They self-imposed that first 3-game suspension, admitting fault there. They accepted this one. Oh, we're just not going to fight you in court. You're admitting that you did all of this basically, and now you're just waiting the NCAA, which will probably take like 6 months for them to hand something out.
Probably. I mean, it won't be this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do all that. But the thing is, it doesn't matter that we think they're stupid for doing this. It has brought them closer together in a way. Now, they aren't playing as well. Like, clearly, last week, they did not play against Maryland as good as they play for the rest of the year. And I don't think they're as good a team as they looked to be. I think we're very, very similar teams. I think the Penn State game was so similar in the way that it went down between both of us. I think that's kind of what we are is even. And if McCarthy, though, seems to be a bit hobbled running the ball, and he can't run. He's not a good enough passer without knowing that the other team's going to blitz. His passing stats against the blitz have gone down considerably. I don't want to break off too much into actual game talk here. But, yeah, I mean, like, it's all there for us. It is all just lined up. Now, I do wish, and tell me what you guys think here. Do you wish Harbaugh was on the sideline?
Yes, 100%. It would mean – I don't care. If we beat him, it goes out the window, boom, knocking out all 3.
Win's a win.
Win's a win and win, and he can get fired, and boom, it's even better that he's not on the sideline. But I do want him on the sideline to kind of make it a little bit more like they don't have any excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make them, too. They're going to make them.
I want
They're
him.
pieces of shit.
I want him on there because, honestly, I don't think it makes much of a difference whatsoever. I mean, he's practicing. He's there at practice all week with a game plan. Who's to say he's not on a fucking cell phone talking to somebody? We don't know.
Casey, he might go full Bobby Valentine and wear the Groucho Marx thing on the sideline. Who's that guy? And it might be in Central Michigan gear, even though it's a Michigan game.
We already know they are willing to cheat, so who knows? But I want him to be there so there's no excuses. But in the end, whatever gets us the W, I don't give a shit. Just win the damn game.
Just win the damn game. I want him to be there so Ryan Day can go out there and give him a stone cold stunner at midfield after he beats his ass is what I want. I mean, this really does, like, from everything about that university, the Michigan man arrogance that everybody's talked about since I was a little kid, and how they remember when they were beating us under the Cooper years and they started saying we weren't even their main rival. It was Michigan State. Like, that arrogance. And Casey, this is why I always told you, I know you don't ever want them to be good because they are sacks of shit when they are. They are so ridiculous. And now they were out there gloating knowing they had cheated. knowing it. And
I
they
do-
were out there doing this crap. And they're still doing it. Like their
I
fans,
would like-
especially the Walmart Wolverines, the ones that didn't go to school there. Now they're falling off. I mean, if you go on like Reddit, most of them have accepted their fate that they are effed after this year and that they were pieces of crap. But the Walmart Wolverines are still out there talking crap, and it's unbelievable.
I would like to see. I've seen a meme where we beat Michigan, and then you see Ryan Day after the game. I'd like to know where Jim Harbaugh is right now.
He might say it. Day might do it. He might cut a promo.
No, I'd like to hear him. Actually, what I want to hear him say is, "Yeah, I think somebody said I was born on third. Well, at least I didn't have to steal third base." Something like
He just has a whole line of zingers. He's like, hold on, Holly Rowe. And the first one this one was written by my man Owen Funkhout. No. No, it's just so much can just this rivalry goes back a long time. There's been moments, the 10-year war, there's been Turn Down the Banner, Desmond. This is another chapter in the book, and it's felt like we had a 15-year dominant, 20-year dominant run, and now the whole media attention's, it's always a big game. We're ranked 2 and 3, obviously, but it is just the whole landscape, the whole college football landscape hinges on this game, really.
This is the biggest game of the series, of the 100+ years that we've played them, 112 or wherever we're at now.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the biggest game. Like it's there's no doubt. Because like I said, we basically get to erase the last 2 years and totally stamp out their program as they go on their way down, because they're going to get bans, bowl bans. Should be for the next 3 years. I don't know if it will be. It should be. They should get banned for every year that they cheated. They are going to get scholarships probably reduced. Their whole coaching staff is going to be gone. Like, there's no way they should all get show cause penalties, because there's almost no way, especially the coordinators. I can actually see Harbaugh having some plausible deniability. Don't tell me where you're getting this. Don't tell me the information. Or just him just being such a freaking weirdo and psycho that maybe the other guys are like, he's not going to understand this. Don't tell him. But it doesn't matter. It's his program. It's under the new rules that they just instituted last year. Whatever happens in his program is his responsibility. But there's no way these coordinators didn't know, or else why the hell were they listening to this dude?
There's big pictures of him on the sideline next to him.
Yeah.
With what sheet is he holding? What sheet is a grad assistant holding that a coordinator would have to look at that is so important? It's not the play sheet. What is he looking at?
Yeah.
Tell me what you can tell me.
We've seen it. You can see it in pictures. There's pictures of the sheet.
Yeah. There's no way nobody knew. I'm done with that. It's just stupid, and it's just mind-boggling that they can say that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dyer. Look like you got something to say.
I'm just pissed. I think I've said all I can say about it.
Yeah, I think I have too. I think the rage subsiding for now until Saturday, when I'm going to be. I need the bad call phone bricks around, because I do throw things when I get mad at these games. I try to make it something that's not going to damage anything, but this game. I mean, this is the biggest game I can remember, because the way everything is on the line. I mean, I guess it would be even bigger if we were back in the old system where this is like automatic for a trip to the national championship game, because it would be. But at least trip to the playoff, trip to go a chance to go have a nice fun beatdown of Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. Everything's on the line from a 1-season standpoint, but this is like a 3-season and a program standpoint. Ryan Day can be redeemed, like you said. He can be totally redeemed if he goes out there and shit stomps them. It'll be so cathartic. I mean, I hope it's like 42-0 at halftime, and we're just out there and he doesn't let off the gas.
No,
he
you can't
keeps throwing it to Marvin Harrison.
Exactly, and people wouldn't bring in the sportsman thing. You run up, you run up the score or whatever. You keep going for it and taking the points. People just be like, hey, you had every right to do that.
All right, Casey, we're gonna wrap this up now. But Casey, do we bring the flag, and do we plant the goddamn flag in their field on Saturday if we win? When we win, no ifs. When we win.
I've been debating this. I love revenge. Those are my favorite types of movies, shows, everything. I sure as hell would fucking plant that flag. But do I want them to? I don't know. I don't know if I want to stoop to their level, but I don't think it had ever been done in the history of the freaking rivalry in 100 and whatever years, and those motherfuckers did it. So Yes, goddamn it, do it.
Awesome.
I wouldn't be against it. I'd raise it. I would just walk off the field after beating them.
Oh, there's no way I'm shaking their hand.
Yeah, I'd say players, you guys have a buddy over there. Don't shake their hands. They're not your buddies anymore.
They're not
I don't
your
care if you
buddies.
played with them in high school. They're not your buddies now. We're beating their ass, and we're getting on that bus, and we're looking out Iowa next week. We're fucking going into there, taking care of business, and getting out.
I'm planting the goddamn flag in the middle of the field, giving them the double birdstone cold style, and then crashing a couple beers together, chugging it, and walking off. 'Cause that's what we're here to do. Break some glass, kick some ass, and I don't even care if we do it with class for once. But, yeah, so to summarize all this, you cheating cheaters up north, like I said a couple weeks ago, if karma is a thing, you're going to get your ass kicked Saturday. And it's going to be Travion Henderson, Marvin Harrison, Tommy Eichenberg, the whole freaking D-line, and then Ryan Day may run out there and clothesline somebody Woody Hayes style, and I'll be okay with it. I say don't fire him just for this one game if he does it. But for the Haas, for the Direwolf, let our rage pump into you Buckeyes this week. Carry it with you onto the field. Kick that ass. Take revenge for the bull crap that they pulled over you. You know, do it for your teammates before that got screwed over, screwed out of awards, screwed out of legacy, and do it for your coach that's also been just shit on relentlessly by some of our fan base, including us at times. Not you, Casey, but us, me and the Haas. I'm totally ready to just start sucking his dick if you guys can win on Saturday. But on that note, we'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys! Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
A rich man's world.